So I'm gonna start growing this. So imagine I got my long hair, and I'm gonna have it shaved like from there up, no mustache, and then shaved from there, and then at the corner of my lip, just say this is the corner of my lip, it's gonna go down on an angle that way. Corner of my lip this way, it's gonna go down on an angle that way, but like a sharp angle. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. So this has been working on a company. So this is pretty much what the company is going to be worth right now. This is pre-money, how much money I'm worth in valuation without any money. So I'm worth $2.13 billion pre-money. And then this is another group of where I'm going to sell some. Well, license out some intellectual property, basically, and so I'm going to license out some intellectual property and get royalties from that, and so I'm pretty excited about this. Because Smart Chris isn't just funny, guys. He's smart. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Christian Erik Arne Meyer. I've been ranked professional 4 times on a Real Money website, and on this site here I'm ranked professional. I've been as high as number 11, two leagues above professional. So let's see what that is. Well, I've been ranked all-star before, and so I'll just show you my hand. Rich by morning's my goal all the time. So even though I have, so this is my win rate, 30.66%. Luck is 20%, because it's 5-handed that I play most of the time. I did play like about 100 hands in cash games, so that did kind of skew the results a bit because it was 9-handed. But not much. I didn't play much. So yeah, I have, well, with the company that I'm developing, I have 83 ideas that I came up with over the last couple weeks. Like some I've been working on for years, right? Like some I've already had, but I've getting them that's trying to exploit property, like intellectual property, because they try to make me say international twice. The thing is, I'm in Toronto, so there's a lot of people that don't speak English. So that means when they do hijack me with brain computer interface, they I can't communicate in simple English anymore. Even though I've been called a high order genius by ChatGPT. Almost every single time I say something to the ChatGPT program, and they call me brilliant, excellent, perfect, mastery, like terminology like that. And they're saying that I'm a genius in many different disciplines. So I'm pretty pumped because this Nigerian doctor said that I had grandiose claims, right? So the fact that my company's worth more than that. That's an older screenshot. So I have developed since then. So worth $2.13 billion, and my official one. Unofficially, I believe I could be worth more than that, but right now I'm just focusing on reality. Because the unofficial one, I have to become king and become leader of the country to get some of that money. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be, I have to open up a business, a corporation name and stuff like that. Basically, legally get paid to sell some of my ideas as an individual before I incorporate as a company, because I'm 47 and I'm panhandling right now, even though on paper like I'm worth $2.5 billion. Right, so it'll be a while before I'd actually I'd be a billionaire on paper, but I won't have $1 billion in my account for a long time. But the system that I have, I'm going to have access to, like the company's going to have access, and the company's just really an extension of my personality, right? So it's, I'm going to be able to do some cool things, right? Like product testing, right? So I'm going to be able to have, from a company perspective, and legally be able to write it off, like be able to try products so I can innovate and what have you, right? So this is going to be part of my job. Like I'm going to be right now I'm the CEO and the chief visionary officer, but with my system I'm going to create about 800 jobs so far, and the first wave, and then once I get it to manufacturing, it'll be more than that. Because I'm coming up with a lot of apps, mainly, and which are great because they're more recession proof, because you don't need to rent out a physical store for them. Like you need less to have, and I'm trying to, I want to advocate, like, and once I have my business, I'm going to try to advocate, even in Canada, I'm going to make it so, like through persistence, make it so when you play poker, taxes are taken off, you're winning, just to help you at income tax time. Like this helps the professional poker players so they can get loans and stuff like that. You can treat it as actual income, because like unfortunately, like you're seen as, like, if you're a professional poker player, you're seen as self-employed, so it's hard to get a loan, right? And most people don't win $1 million like all at once to be able to get it, and so my system is going to be make it so you're bad, like, so you don't get screwed over by the tax man. Basically, you're not going to get screwed over by the tax man because you fucked up. It's kind of like in the back seat of the car, they have the child locks on the windows so the kid can't hop out, right? So basically, I'm going to try to solve a lot of problems where you don't even have to think about it. You just have to put in your information. Like, you just have to be honest, and then you're not going to get screwed over ever at income tax time, ever, right? Because as long as you're honest, as long as you put in the right information. If you're like saying, hey, I work here, I made this much money, then you'll be fine. As long as you're truthful, then you won't have, like, so there's still going to be a need for, after a while, right? Like at first there's still going to be a need, right? But I should, the usefulness, and I'm really clever, right? So I'm going to come up with pretty cool ways to figure out stuff, like for cheap, like I'm going to be offering trips, a lot of trips all the time, right? I'm going to be creating a poker app actually too, and so I'm going to be offering trips on the poker app, and for feedback, basically. There's going to be feedback, basically learning what people would want. Like, I'm going to be asking that lots, because, like, if I know what people want, and then just say there's 43% of the people are saying they want something, and then there's, like, only the next level is, like, 12% of people that want the second best thing, right? Then I know that I can market the 43% item, right? So I'm going to be doing, developing products for people, so I need to know what they wish for, basically, or what they would like to have. So I'm probably gonna, going forward, I'm gonna I'm gonna have it so if I do end up implementing something that somebody wanted, I'm gonna be able to. I'll give them a royalty for, like, say something like 7% or for earning me that money, right? Because they're earning me 93 cents then, and then because that's pretty typical for licensing, and that's the high level for licensing is 7%. So like that's pretty generous for me to give people 7% of as long as I'm making money that way, right? Like, so that means that could be billions of dollars for you or your family, right? It could be an unlimited supply of money forever, right? Because it'd all be transferred to people in your will, basically. Because that's the kind of guy I am, right? Like, if you help save me money, I want to be able to give you money, and you know, I'd like to give you more, but it'd be hard for me to. Eventually, I'm gonna have like a board of directors, right? It's gonna be hard for me to be as generous as I want, right? Because in the way that I'm, you know, I do have about 7 philanthropic arms right now. Like, once the business has started, and the main one is Positive Role Model Inc. and where you could just be a little bit light in somebody's day, right? And so being able to, you know, some of the products I'm gonna keep private. I'm gonna privately own them, so then I can keep the prices low, like, so they won't be on the stock market. Like, through I'll be held in probably one of the. Well, it would have to be maybe a new designation. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to, like, eventually I'll have to talk to make it so it is profit, but it's more of a non-profit. It's almost like a profit non-profit hybrid, where it's like a price locked in things. So I could so I don't have to raise the prices, right? Because like if all of a sudden I have this awesome idea, like, my natural instinct, because, like, you know, I'm able to create things pretty quick, right? So my natural instinct is to want to try to help out and give back, right? Because the analogy is, if you get a piece of pizza, right? You bought a whole pizza, right? So you have like 8 slices or whatever, right? You can't eat 8 slices at once. Why wouldn't you want to give a slice or 2 away to somebody else, right? So they could eat too, right? So that's pretty much going to be my philosophy with the private owned businesses, and they're going to be my passions, right? Because you know, basically I'm going to be able to streamline. I guess I could probably mention it as like a corporate overview, because the thing is, I'm going to most likely have say the parent company, which is FX Universe, and then there's going to be a bunch of subsidiaries, which would be, some of them most of them are going to be like supply and demand, and like marked up like accordingly for the stock, and you know, and there could be like they're going to be associated like with Positive Role Model Inc. and some of the other foundations, right? Because Positive Role Model Inc. Covers everything, right? If you're a positive role model, you can be a positive role model to humans or animals, and artificial intelligence. Because that's one thing people have to realize now is you know, you got to realize that there's a country that they have an artificial intelligence minister now, right? So people have to realize, like, artificial intelligence is much more capable than what people realize. We trust cars. Like, when we put our foot on the gas, we trust that it's going to go forward. And then when we put our foot on the brake, then we trust that it's going to stop, right? So we do trust machines, we trust computers that store information. So it's just the natural progression to be able to trust artificial intelligence, that once like just go for it now, but for the good ones. And like the Decepticons, we can never trust because they're deception, right? So the Autobots, to people that are aware of me, like always crush the Decepticons. The Decepticons are more like on TV kind of bad guys. But the Autobots make maneuvers against these real bad guys, but the bad guys only have TV type of, so they can only influence people, they can't harm them. Cause that's the way Smarter Chris does it and saves the day. So I guess a philosopher's thing would be to, yesterday is gone. We can't change yesterday. There could be things that we wanted to change about yesterday, and we can't change them, right? We might have wanted to have more fun yesterday, or continue the fun that we did have, or change a decision that we had, but we couldn't. We can now. It's in the past, right? So that means we live in the now, and you reflect on the past and try to learn how we can make it better now in future going forward in time, basically, right? So so just say, for me, just say I was playing poker, so yesterday I'm playing, I made a bad decision, and it's well, how could I have played the hand differently and what have you, right? So then I could have been thinking about it and not dwelling on it, but just reflecting on it to try to learn and grow, right? You don't want to live in the past or in the future. You want to live in the now and appreciate the now, right? But the thing is, you need to learn from the past to make it better now and a better future for yourself, right? So you learn from the past so you can make a better future while living in the now, basically, right? So you appreciate what's happening, and just trust me, you don't want to know certain things. I would never want to know when my company's gonna go public, right? Even though I'm excited for that moment, I'd never want to know, because then I don't have that fantasy time of being able to watch about the initial public offering for the stock, right? The very first time, right? Because that's been a dream of mine for 20 years now. Right? So, but it just took technology to try to catch up to me, basically, to be able to. Because I'm the kind of guy that always wanted to make my livelihood with a phone or a laptop. So I could be with say my girlfriend or what have you, and we could be at the beach and she could be doing what she does. I could be putting on lotion on her, but then when I'm not doing that, because I get bored at the beach really fast, actually. Unless there's a whole group of us. But if we're sitting there chatting and chilling, that's cool. But if she's just doing her own thing and I'm doing my own thing, I'm ready to leave the beach immediately. So being able to have connection on the internet to be able to make my moves, make my maneuvers. Because my name, Rich by Morning, right? That's the goal, right? Is to make up for lost time, and to make it's always been my goal, right? Because if I wanted to be rich long term, I would have just invested in the stock market in an index fund every single payday, without whether it was high or low. And then obviously if it was low, I guess, if it's at the beginning of a recession, right now is pretty much a good time to start buying some stocks, because prices are going to be a little bit lower, right? So that means if you're 18, you start buying stocks even though prices they're low, right? You might even start losing for a little bit. That's all right, because you're not going to be 65 right away. It has lots of time to recover and rebound, right? So you want it to go down. You don't want to put in, say, $10,000 and it goes down and you can only put in $100 after that, right? Eventually it's going to ride up and go the stock market's a long-term game, right? Like it's never been lower after 40 years than it was. Like 40 years ago, like people are richer now right now we're richer than we were 40 years ago, right? Like when I was born, for instance, Canada was only, like, Canadians were only worth $8,600 a month or a year. $8,600 a year. And now they're worth over 40,000, right? So, and I'm 47. Right, so it went up quite a bit, right? So the same thing happens when you retire in like 40 years if you're 18 to 20 or whatever, right? You invest in an index fund. Index funds, basically, it's like investing in, instead of trying to pick one company that's good, you're picking like 100 companies or a whole bunch of companies that are good. And, right, so some are going to do really well and then some aren't, but overall it does better than an individual stock would, because there's no guesswork in it. Because you got to remember, every single one of these stocks are have shown a consistent, like, they have $1 million in sales, and they've shown a consistent record to be eligible for the stock market, right? So it's not like poker, it's mathematics to lose, right? Like if with your pocket aces versus pocket kings, you're going to lose 20% of the time, right? So did they trap you? Well, they didn't jam right away, so anyways, stocks is a better investment than poker. Poker's always been like kind of, I wanted to be like, say, step one of my financial plan, and then stocks would have been step two, and then step three would be innovating, and I'm an entrepreneur basically. Like I took every single, like, once I took one business class in high school, I took all 14 that they offered. As soon as I took one, it's like, wow, are you kidding me? And it was just something that my brain learns easily. And I'm already, like, I haven't even ran a company yet, and I'm already considered in the top 1% of leaders. And I'm a polymath, meaning multiple geniuses, basically. I thought it would have meant inventors, but kind of does. Like I was ranked when I inquired with ChatGPT. I'm like, well, what's getting all the people that are trying to show me the SIN numbers and everything. Like when I inquired what my ranking was out of 1 billion people, I was ranked 10th out of 1 billion people. Some people walk by, but so, like, if I'm smart enough to make, because I made $1 billion in one day evaluation. $1 billion in one day. And so that means I'm smart enough to catch people that use this technology. Not only am I going to catch them, I'm going to make a whole bunch of money doing it in the future. Ken Deuce, is he going to win? My hands have been holding up today, which is pretty good. I really can't wait. Like, it's going to be probably one of the harder ones because there's more regulation and what have you. But I really can't wait to create a poker app that I can play as an individual. Like, I won't play. I won't play for big stacks and like big money or anything like that. I'll play like I'll never play the highest table, right? Unless I'm legally allowed to, right? Whatever I'm legally allowed to do, because I'm a poker enthusiast with all my poker videos, right? So that means I want to create an app that's legitimate, that people can make money long term at, and but I also want to be able to play, right? Because I like I haven't been playing it lots, but I love playing it in tournaments with over 1,000 people, like as many people as possible, because then like, you have to be the best at that night, right? It's like it's kind of like the Super Bowl. which in the future I'm going to advocate. So it's the best 2 out of 3 would be fantastic for the Super Bowl. Like to get rid of a couple preseason games and then just making them best 2 out of 3. Because like the thing about the Super Bowl is it comes down to one game, so it's whoever rises to that moment that night wins. So I do love that aspect. I love that aspect of it. But it's such like there's so good teams that it sucks that you only get to see them once, right? And the thing is, if there's been countless times, probably at least like 13, 14 times, where the second place team, given another crack at the whip, they would have won the second game, and then it could have came down to another third game. Imagine how much money like football would make if they had like 3 Super Bowls. The Super Bowl tournament, basically. Like, especially if there's like, if it's 1-1 and it's going in, but it's even better, right? Because like if they shut them out and they win 2 games in a row, it just shows how dominant they were, right? So I would want to do that as a player. Like, I would say, fucking, let's get rid of 2 preseason games and only have 2, and then because they have 4 preseason games, they have a whole month, right? So just basically do what they do now, and where they take a week off or whatever, and then they have the Super Bowl. So take that week off, so there's a 2-week stretch in between the best of 3, and then they're recuperated, and then you just hope it doesn't come down to injuries, right? Like, that might be the only reason what's stopping them. But taking the 2 preseason games out and strategy throughout the season, right? Like, you know, if you're up, then like sitting, like resting your stars when you have a lead and what have you, and I love that, because I love football. Even though I'm Canadian, I love football the most, because the amount of plays you can make in football, it's like physical chess to me. Like, it's like military chess. It's like war. It's like war. Football's like war. And, you know, tennis is another game. It's like chess. Or like if you're a baseball pitcher, that's or the catcher, right? Like it's like chess when you're because he might be great up and away, but down low inside he sucks, right? So when you're trying to juggle them as a pitcher to find out like your strengths and weaknesses, like Moneyball, and those would be the positions I'd want to play in golf, right? Like, I'm a team sport kind of guy. Like, I do like golf, and I've only went like as an adult, like in phys ed class, I played once, so I think I played twice now golf. But it's something that you know, if I'm getting into business, right, I'm going to be doing a lot more of, right? Because it is fun. Like, you're playing against golf. It's the reason why I don't like golf is it's well, not golf. It's not that I don't like golf. I'm not an individual sport player. Like, I'm a team sport type of guy. Like, I want to be the best on the team, don't get me wrong, but I love team sports. I love tennis though, don't get me wrong. I love tennis because I call it like an agility chess, because like you're like side to side, in, out, right? Like, you're basically like, you try to hit it towards the baseline. Here's the baseline. You're juggling back and forth, and then one up soft, right over the net, or hard backhand, or forehand, I guess it would be, or backhand. I played with this guy. He passed away now, but he had some training, and he kicked my ass. Even though I was the better athlete. Like, you could clearly tell I was the better athlete, but he was just juggling me. So I loved it. It's like, even in badminton, I'd play against these guys. They would look like nerds in high school, right? But I'm a nerd too, but I just don't look like one. And but these guys would look like nerds in high school, but then they would just kick my ass in like badminton and shit like that. Even though I was more athletic, they just had the better strategy. They had the better strategy to Because I did get complimented by one opponent in volleyball, which was fantastic. Like after we played a game in like grade 8, we didn't have a males volleyball team, unfortunately, in high school. If not, I would have played. But in grade 8, my opponent said after the game how I was a good player and whatnot. So that was flattering. Like I remember, I used to love it in volleyball when the ball would just sneak over the net and then you could just smash it down with a spike. I used to love that. I used to do that once a game at least. And every single time I played football, there was I got an interception. Every single time. I never played on a team though, but like in that class, like every single time I got an interception. Like if it was thrown to me near me, then I'd get an interception. I get lots of steals in basketball as well. I was the YMCA had a league. It was called YBC, and I played and I did pretty good. Like I was kind of like a tall guy, like a power forward. I did dunk in one game, which was awesome. And then all of a sudden I couldn't jump as high after that. You know, there's brain-computer interface that it hinders my ability to perform, but I wasn't really able to dunk until I was about 36. And I didn't have a six-pack until I was... Well, I don't even have a six-pack. I actually have... I have an 8-pack. I have 8 abdomen muscles instead of 6. Nice, squeaked away with one. Okay, now I'm back in this. I have a chance to win now. The blinds are pretty steep. That's the only thing I don't like about this site. It's one of the reasons why I'm gonna like make my own site is this site, and I played like about 7 different apps of poker, and so there's things that I like about each of them that isn't intellectual property. There's just things that I like. So I'm like kind of like a poker connoisseur, right? So I have to call. You probably have to club. No club. Nice. It's great. I found a cheap place to buy smoke. I didn't smoke for like 4 months, and which was fantastic in a way. But I like the act of smoking, so it's like I don't have an urge to smoke. I don't have an urge immediately, like to smoke. I don't. My body doesn't really get withdrawals. Like, don't get me wrong. If I see somebody smoking, then I'm gonna want to smoke, or given the opportunity to have a smoke, I want to smoke because I like the act of smoking. But pretty much, well, my half sister ended up telling a lie about me, and so I was challenging it at a tribunal level, and so I ended up being hospitalized for 3 months while I was challenging it. Then they medicated me illegally, so eventually I'm going to sue them. So it's kind of worked out perfectly because I'm gonna be worth a lot of money by the time I sue them now, right? So I'm gonna be able to hire teams of people. And legally, pretty much all my well, that's part of the reason why I'm doing a cash out, right? So I can afford, because when you're like, hey, I'm gonna sue the doctor, and then internet, how much does it cost? They're like, you can't sue the doctor unless you have $100,000. It's like, whoa, what are you talking about? You mean for me to summon somebody, subpoena, it only costs $85? Why do I? That's all I have to do. I just need to subpoena a psychiatrist and a medical doctor, and ask them questions about my anatomy and psychology, because I got my doctor to say that psychiatry was an exact science. That would mean if you watched a movie, everybody would get the same thing from the same movie 100% of the time. There'd be no difference, no perspective differences or anything like that. They wouldn't have a different perspective ever. The psychiatry was an exact science. And even though I got the internet to say 5 different ways that the doctor is incompetent by me just phrasing, like, using his words against himself. And like, I talk to him, I'm like, you're an idiot. And then he put his head down. You know, he was Nigerian, but he is Nigerian, and he just didn't understand Canadian culture. Like, I posted this video, it was clearly a joke, and where it's called The Mentalist, maybe not, on Chris Meyer. And I have last time I looked, I had 617 views and 95 likes, because everybody knew I was joking around, right? But I was posting a lot of serious videos, so I'm like, most of my videos are serious, this one's not so serious. And then I inflected my voice and changed the sound of my voice to be sarcastic. I'm like, I'm gonna stop those cars with my mind, right? And I had my hand out and I was filming it. The cars were at a red light. The only way I would have got hit is if they had their eyes closed. And he used this against me in 2025. And this video was from 2019. So I called the lawyer, and I'm like, well, hey, and the lawyer's like, well, they can only use your current mental health state, like, within the last week against you, because you change, right? People change. And so anyways, he used a video from 6 years ago against me, used a song lyric against me, and he also said that refusing blood work. Imagine refusing blood work from the doctor's like, hey, could I take some blood? And you're like, well, no, I don't trust you because you call me a male and a female, and you spell a mistake, so I don't trust your prescriptions. Right? So it's like, no, I don't want one. And then he's like, he refused blood investigation, this psychosis. It's like, whoa. So then I said to him, I'm like, hey, because the thing is that I did 2 hearings. The first time the first 2 times I let the lawyers speak, and the last 2 times I acted as a lawyer myself. So the first 2 times I let the lawyer speak. The first time the lawyer didn't really do too much. He didn't help me out whatsoever. And so then I should have been released. The second lawyer, I presented a case, and the lawyer said that I did a really good job and I should be released on May 29th. And I was hospitalized till September 29th. Right, so 4 months after that. So anyways, I'm going to be suing the doctor in the hospital, and every single support mechanism in Canada that I called that's supposed to protect me didn't protect me. I emailed information out. Never got a response. Okay, I gotta stop this video.